There's so many things, I would definitely say, like, be very cognizant of your relationships, because you definitely want to be a reliable, indispensable person. That's in my experience. That's what gets you the call, is being somebody who is fun, is a good hang, but also super responsible and cares about the people that you're working for. Just having that reliability really helps with because it is a business of who do you know. So those kinds of recommendations are invaluable. You can't really put a price on that stuff.
Make yourself bigger than you actually are. So like, make your hands bigger, or when you're talking, like, make yourself feel bigger in the room, because it draws more attention to you. So I'm sure we're going to talk about my how I do my live shows, but the most important thing that I learned was, okay, it finally got to the point where Nick and I, who have been writing music for a very, very long time, 20 years at this point, decided that, okay, there is actually something to this. Like, these songs are good, and we've wrote good songs before, but these songs are actually like, man, if I was 19, 20 listening to this, I would want to be a part of this band. And so the next part, of course, is how do you get your songs out there? And then how do you play shows? How do you get on big shows with, for us, it's like Jay Navarro, right? Suicide Machines. Or all those like bigger bands, Coffin Cats. I know you had them on. Like, how do you get to them? Like, and so I've been always under the impression that, you know what, why am I thinking about this? I'm just going to reach out to them. Because the worst that's going to happen is they're going to say no. But what I found was the more that I asked, the more that it was easier to ask. And then on top of that, when you practice something more and more, and when you do something more and more, it comes across so much more genuine. And then, so what I was finding was I wasn't getting no. What I was getting, if I was getting anything, was a yes, or we'll make it happen if we can, or here's the person you need to reach out to.
You just can't say no to things, I guess. I moved to Milwaukee in 2020 or 2019, right before COVID, and I was in ska bands in Indiana, where I moved here from, and so I just started like emailing random bands. I just Googled like Milwaukee ska, and then just started emailing, hey, I'm a trumpet player, I'm new in town, can I join your band? And Something to Do said yes, and a different band said no, but their bass player said, well, why don't you and I start a side project together? And that's how Local Legends was born. So that was really cool. And then from there, I think Local Legends had a show opening for the Von Tramps, and they, I wasn't there, but apparently while we were on stage, they were all talking with each other, like, we're going to steal her. She's our trumpet player now. And I was so impressed with their set that when they reached out, I literally like spun around in my chair. I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, yes, I would love to. And then for Public Serpents, it was like somebody had tagged me in some Facebook post that was like, hey, we're looking for horn players. And so it all just really worked out. And there is some overlap in, like our tours. And, sometimes I have to miss a show with one band because I'm playing with another band, and that sucks. But it is, I really have a really solid group of people in each of those bands, and they're all very understanding about, like, I need to be running around all of the time. So, yeah, I'm really lucky.
I never really intended, growing up, I had an artist as a father, but I was always surrounded by artists, like musical artists, and band members and this and that. Weezer, we were very close to them, but I wasn't really ever aware of any of that. So growing up, I never intended to be a musician or anything, but one day the Wi-Fi went down. I started playing around on GarageBand. I started having a lot of fun with that. And I discovered a rap group called Suicide Boys in 2016. And when I heard their music, I really was like, wow, if they can make music like that, I want to make music like that. And that's when I really started to get heavy into production and trying to replicate things that I liked. And that was probably besides soccer, the only thing in my life that I ever like really, really enjoyed and had a lot of fun doing. And I'm completely self-taught. I went to school, but like way later down the line. I already knew what I was doing by the time I had gone to school. But yeah, like it kind of just went down this whole journey of rap. And then I would discover these new kinds of experimental rap artists on SoundCloud that had like 1,000 followers and nobody knew who they were. And I have a tattoo of one of their groups on my leg. Like I really resonated with those kinds of people because the way I looked at it is like those people are in the same situation as me. They're living in an apartment. They have a 9-to-5. They're making art from their heart. That's something new and fresh, and it resonated with me a lot. And it kind of got to a point where I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like, if I'm not doing this in my life, I haven't really succeeded, in my opinion.
I was the same way. I was a guy that would just be on the phone calling whoever, whatever, just trying to make some kind of connection, trying to make something happen, so yeah, I was the same way, just cold call whoever. Now those days are, it's different now. I don't know why. It's a strange world. But then, if you make enough noise and if like there's an artist or someone on the artist team that learns marketing, and you get attention that way. Well, for me, when I started, I got a job at a studio in Detroit, and I just showed up every day to work. And there were projects there, and some were local bands and some were like already, really popular artists, so that was cool. I just showed up. And then I got a job at Psychopathic Records, and it was the same thing. It was like just every day, constant work, tons of work to do. So there was no marketing involved in that, or even word of mouth. I was just working. And then, after those days, it was mostly word of mouth, people just talking and hearing, maybe they liked what I did, maybe they heard about something. Then came the whole internet marketing thing, which it's I don't even know. I'm not that guy. I do all these different things. I write songs. I even write lyrics. I do tracks. I play drums, bass, guitar, keys. I mix. All these different things I do, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to take on another skill. I don't want to have to learn something else, like marketing. So I tell the people around me, like, you have to go learn marketing. So this will work. So
decided to do a documentary. I feel like it's getting on now. It's over 25 years, and I feel like a friend of ours, like Bob's dad, the actor, died, and I'm thinking, like, these people are going to start, going away, and this movie became a cult film that was not supposed to be a cult film, or I didn't know it was going to be a cult film. I don't think anyone knows the movie was going to be a cult film, but it did, and I kind of wanted to document that part of it for posterity. So like, it's not really even a for-profit endeavor. It's just, that's why I'm getting fans to help me finance it, and I'm matching those funds because I just want to make it about fans. I want to make a documentary about why people ever even were drawn to the movie. Why are they drawn to cult movies in general? Because it's not Star Wars. These are little tiny niche movies, but this one has several million fans. And like already when we went to Salt Lake, we shot some of the documentary, and there's a girl who says, I came up here from Mexico and moved to Salt Lake City because of SLC Punk. I was like, whoa, so like I want to know more about why that resonated from various people. Even if they hate it, I want to know why you hated it, because like they're still talking about it. And my God, like, indie movies that are talked about 25 years later is just not something that happens very often. I mean, like, I can name a whole bunch of movies from that period that like people still don't talk about.
I always I love it that like my music connects with people, and maybe I don't mean to be like self-depreciating, but it is surprising like when people are like, wow, I was blown away. Like, I don't know, I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Not that I think I'm bad, but at the same time, it's like it is just like the coolest feeling. It's hard to describe, where it's like you write something and it connects so heavily with somebody else, or they just like appreciate it, even if they don't connect necessarily with it, that they appreciate it so much that they say something to you. Like, that means the world. So for that, I just make it a point to play at local small places that I know for a fact will book artists who play their own music. I sort of avoid, and it's not to say that I've never done, like, farmers market is a good example. I've done farmers markets. I did like a little bar restaurant show once. It's not to say that I'll never do them, but it's sort of the opposite. Whereas you would play a lot of covers and maybe a few originals, to me, I just kind of make sure to not go toward the restaurant or farmers market area. Not to say that I won't play farmers markets and stuff. Well, farmers markets are unique because you can do a good amount of both. So I'll definitely play farmers markets. But if I want to play at a bar, I do make sure to ask, like, hey, I do mostly originals. Is that okay? Do you want more covers? If you want more covers, then maybe this might not be the gig for me. Especially playing for so many hours. So I do try to kind of take a step back and not book those types of shows, because I know as a singer-songwriter, you can have me for about an hour before I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, an hour is great. I can do a little more than an hour for sure, but it does get hard, I think, to play just by yourself with like not a ton of instrumental breaks, things like that. You're just singing and playing. Those types of shows are difficult.
Tough. And you said earlier about hobby, and it always starts off that way, right? Like, you get a group of people together and you're like, we all love to play music, we all are talented, let's sit down and get something going. And then for us, like, I'm lucky and fortunate that the people I surround myself and associate myself with all have been grinding music forever, right? Like, I've been playing since high school. I just turned 40, so I mean, this has been an ongoing thing most of my life. But it's a passion. Like, that's what's really exciting for me is, like, yes, I have a job, and yes, I am happily married with kids, proud father, but like, I need that something extra, that something to decompress, something to kind of have to build, create, and I guess just when things get really heavy and tough and life just kind of beats you down, what do you have to go to? And for some people it's reading, and some people it's Dungeons and Dragons, and for me it's always been music. So it's passion. Like, I have a drive to want to perform. I have a drive to want to sing in front of people. I have a drive to write music because it makes me happy. We were joking earlier a little bit about what we do for therapy, right? If you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's therapeutic for me too. Tough.